The hidden history of Social Security. Social Security is in the news as presidential candidates jockey for political position. What you don't know about Social Security may surprise you. I'm Gary DeMar. Welcome to this edition of Vantage Point. The Social Security system is a mess. Americans in their 50s are worried there won't be any money to pay out when they reach retirement age. In the beginning, the costs of Social Security were not that great, and not everybody was in the system. In fact, Congress had exempted itself from the system. Most federal and state workers were not in the Social Security system when it was first instituted. Public school teachers were exempt. They could opt for a private paying system. Members of Congress had their own private government taxpayer-funded system. This didn't change until 1984. Compared to today, the costs of Social Security were small. Those in paid a total of 2%. Employees paid 1% and employers paid 1% on $3,000 per year for a total of $60. Now it's 12.4% on more than $106,000 per year. And keep in mind that people live a lot longer today than they did when Social Security was first implemented. The belief was that most payees would never receive benefits, and those that did would most likely receive less than what they paid in. According to the Social Security Board of Trustees, there were 42 covered workers per Social Security beneficiary in 1945. For every person receiving benefits, 42 people paid for that single recipient. Seemed like magic, except that few people anticipated the birth dearth, a decline in family size, legalized abortion, increased Social Security benefits, a larger recipient pool, and that taking money from people to pay other people is immoral. But we're talking about government funding. Immoral is its middle name. Since 1945, the number of people paying into the system has changed dramatically. In 2010, there were only 1.75 full-time private sector workers in the United States for each person receiving benefits from Social Security. That means that for each husband and wife who worked full-time in the private sector last year, there was a Social Security recipient somewhere in the country receiving benefits. Most Americans don't know much about the financial structure of Social Security, that it's a government-regulated pyramid scheme that would be illegal if practiced by a private company. And they also don't know much about its early history. Here's some background. Take it for what it's worth. In William Shirer's book, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, we learn the origin of Social Security policies and the effect they had on the German people. Social Security was engineered by German Chancellor Otto von Bismarck in the 19th century. His policies gradually made the German people, quoting Shirer, value security over political freedom and caused them to see in the state, however conservative, a benefactor and protector. Between 1883 and 1889, Bismarck put through a program for Social Security far beyond anything known in other countries at that time. It included compulsory insurance for workers against old age, sickness, accident, and incapacity, and though it was organized by the state, it was financed by employers and employees. Sound familiar? This is American-style Social Security. Adolf Hitler took full advantage of the German state of mind and Bismarck's early progress in turning the nation into a model of socialist reform. Hitler remarks in Mein Kampf, "I studied Bismarck's social legislation in its intention, struggle, and success." It was Hitler's social security policies and promises that helped him get elected. Hitler was not alone in his admiration of Bismarck and what he was able to accomplish. FDR borrowed Bismarck's socialist agenda and created what is now known as the Social Security system. Bismarck said that the state must take the matter in hand, since the state can most easily supply the requisite funds. It must provide them not as alms, but in fulfillment of the workers' right to look to the state where their own goodwill can achieve nothing more. Roosevelt and his admirers agreed. P.J. O'Brien, writing in Forward with Roosevelt, links Bismarck's social policies with those of Roosevelt. O'Brien wrote, "The quotation by Bismarck might have been lifted out of a speech by President Roosevelt in 1936, but Bismarck uttered it in 1871. Social Security is based on utopian dreams and flawed economic principles. It's the belief that something comes from nothing. Yes, people are benefiting from it today, but that's true of all pyramid schemes. Those who get in early get paid first. Governments can make pyramid schemes work because they can force people to pay even when the program goes bankrupt.